This player recorded the second highest vertical jump in NBA draft combine history at 46 inches. However, this jump that he did looks very different from any of his other jumps. It looks like the ground is sucking him into the earth, like it's pulling him like a catapult and then releasing him super fast into the air. Then I realized I've seen another jump that looked very similarly to this one, that had the same effect. This is an athlete jumping 7 feet 6 inches 50 years ago in the high jump using a bastardized straddle technique. And it looks like the 1 foot version of what DJ Steffens did in his jump. Again, it looks like the ground is just pulling on him like a rubber band and then releasing him with a ton of energy. The reason these jumps look so much different from other jumps is because they are generating impulse by maximizing time. See, jumping is all about generating impulse. The more impulse you create, the higher you're going to jump. However, there's multiple ways of generating impulse. Look at these graphs. These are force time graphs, and the area under the curve represents how much impulse was generated. The bigger the area under the curve, the bigger the impulse, the bigger the jump. And there's actually 3 different ways of increasing impulse. You can apply more force, you can apply that same force for a longer period of time, and you can start generating that force earlier in the movement. The 2 athletes we just looked at decided to increase the impulse by increasing the time that they were generating that force for. So they chose the time option. But how does this apply to you? See, different strategies have different strengths, but they also have different drawbacks. And depending on your genetic makeup, you might benefit from strategies that other people might not. For example, you could try running faster, which could increase peak forces and increase the rate of force development, which is how early you applied that peak force, but that would decrease the time aspect. Or you could try taking a longer penultimate, which would lower you, which would give you more time to generate more force, but the peak forces might be lower. And the opposite advice also holds true. You could try running slower. You could try planting your last steps more quickly. For example, when I do spin dunks, there's a lot of times where I jump higher by running more slowly. However, when I test my vertical, the day I tested my highest vertical ever, all I cued was run faster. So try different cues out, experiment, and see what makes you jump the highest.